what have been some of the biggest failures or flops or mistakes that you've made? Any ventures?
I'd say the biggest failures. Listen, I don't think you look at ventures. I don't think ventures could ever be failures. And also, let me put it this way: I've never put money into a company and lost my money. So that's really what I would look at as like a massive failure. Mm-hmm. And I never put my money into a product where there might be bumps along the way. Don't get me wrong. Like even, my main software company, it was shaky for some time. Like, because we didn't take on $20 million in funding. I self-funded the entire thing until it was profitable. So it's, we didn't have the ammunition that some of these other software companies did. So for a long time, like I looked at the software and I was like, it's not where it needs to be. And I'm not, but these things take time. So of course there's been companies where the product for some time isn't where I would want it to be, but eventually it gets there because we keep trying. So I wouldn't ever say that there's been ventures that have been failures because they've all ended up after some time becoming successful. I'd say my biggest failures have always been when it comes to people. Because no matter how sharp I am, and I'm very, very sharp when it comes to understanding people and team, every once in a while, there's that one person that slips and it makes you question yourself. You're like, fuck. Like how
did I not see that?
Yeah, how did I not see that? And by the way, this doesn't mean that a person I think when I say that, people think that someone fucked you over, or stole from you, but I don't mean stuff like that. I just mean like maybe you were so set on. Listen, there's people that will be around for a year. There's people they'll be around for 3 years. There's people in my company that I know for a fact will be around for another 18 months. I know that for a fact. And there's people I know that will be around for 18 years. And I'm very good at differentiating the two, but every once in a while you get blindsided. So I would say for me, my biggest failures is more so people or assumptions about the market. Like sometimes I've launched products or we've pivoted pricing. This actually happened. I've been, I've been having a lot of meetings at my main software company recently about pricing. We made a pricing change. Around 6 months ago that was my call. That was, long story short, was a horrible move. It was at that point that our growth stopped in MRR. And now here we are, tail between our legs, moving back to our old pricing. So, sometimes you make mistakes like that, but I wouldn't say that that's a catastrophic failure. It's just, it's learning lessons. And sometimes you got to take things to the market and see how it reacts and see what the consequences of what you think are correct. And sometimes they turn out not to be.
Did you ever feel like you wake up some days and you just think, holy shit, like I have so much responsibility to make sure that everything is still ticking along, the business is paying staff salary, things like that?
Correct. And how
do you deal with that?
This is why I always tell people, like, don't go for my life. Like, I'm saying this on camera right now. If you want the best quality of life, live like Mike, don't live like me. For a fact. Because as you said, I wake up and there's this thing and there's that thing. And listen, of course, I have amazing people in my corner. And there's a lot of stuff that I just never have to tend to and I never deal with. There's a lot of corporate stuff that luckily I have great people in my corner. I don't need to worry about a lot of things. There's a issue with what are my assets for my properties. I have people that work for me that have power of attorney. I don't get that call. I don't have to worry about that shit, but you still know it's there, and that's why there's no such thing as passive income, or there's no such thing as, it doesn't matter if you have a family office and a property manager and this and that. There's no such thing as you just buy apartments or properties and they don't give you any headache. It will always give you some headache. Yeah. So that's really all to say that I am very aware that I have a high stress tolerance and some people don't. And because I know that I have a high stress tolerance, I'm willing to take on more things than other people would. And I'm willing to push things farther than other people would. So you're 100% correct in saying that my quality of life is, and I'd say definitely this year, my quality of life is the worst it's ever been because of not only the business, but social media. Like sometimes I hear people talk to me about like, oh, the social media stuff's so hard. And I'm just like, I have zero fucking empathy for them. Cause I'm like, I've broken every single record when it comes to this pocket of the internet. I've broken every single record that you could ever break. and not slowing down, because a lot of people come up and they come down and they're gone. My numbers have stayed the same.